Morning. Today I want to talk about shared web hosting. It's a form of web hosting where you share a space within a larger server. I like to use an example of real estate. And given that example, an entire apartment building would be the server, while each apartment would host a shared hosting account or website or whatever. Um, in dedicated web hosting, which is another form of web hosting you've probably heard about, you'd pay to rent the entire apartment building. With shared web hosting, you just rent for the apartment. The benefit, of course, is extremely reduced pricing. Can you imagine the difference between renting an entire apartment building and just renting an apartment? The drawback, of course, is that you have to share resources. Now, this example doesn't exactly apply too well to real estate because even when you have an apartment, you pay for your own cable, your own electricity. But in the context of web hosting, you wouldn't do that. Instead, you wouldn't even pay for those services, but you have to share them with other tenants, which can be frustrating. In web host to clarify, in web hosting, you share the processor, the memory chips, storage space, and bandwidth. The drawback to this, of course, is that if another website's using up a lot of bandwidth, it's going to take from you take it. Your website's basically going to suffer. Of course, this doesn't usually happen. You know, web hosting companies are pretty smart about the way they run things, and of course, it depends also if you invest in a cheap hosting company or a quality hosting company that manages and tracks resource allocation. Um, that's basically the difference between the two. I hope this helps you understand. Like the key metaphor to keep in mind is with dedicated web hosting, you rent the entire apartment building, while in shared web hosting, you rent just an apartment. Uh, Feel free to click the attached link to get some more information about shared hosting, how it can benefit you. All right, thank you so much for your time.